Maya, does Dean use a tripod for his work, or is he more a handheld type of guy? Tell us
Both.
something about you.
Both. I use a clamp a lot. I bought just a standard ball head clamp, and then I haven't got the camera here, but you would sort of lock in the ball head, and then you could just adjust it, and obviously use the mirror, the flip screen to find out what I was doing. But yeah, stuff like panning and obviously stationary action, moving action, it's better off obviously handheld. But for stuff like with the slow shutters, for the remotes, all that kind of stuff, it was definitely on. Most of it was done on the ball head. Actually, I think I took my tripod with me, but I didn't. I don't think I used it actually. It stayed in the locker from the start to finish because of the size of the camera, the ball head, and I could clamp it on railings, on fences, at the fencing. No pun intended, but at the fencing, there was just a gate, and I could just clamp it on the gate. I was shooting with one camera, and then I was firing my remote, doing it with a slower shutter speed to get sort of a blur movement with the ball head. So you need both. But again, like that. That's with a ball head. So you've got a ball head clamp. Set it, I think it was like maybe a second or just less than a second shutter speed, and then just by chance the guy sort of lifted up the bar, and then he sort of dropped the bar behind him, and that's how it made that sort of swooshing shape.
You were there somewhere in the trees?
That was over a bridge, but the bridge was all gated up, so you couldn't actually see through the bridge. But then I had the monopod again, and I stuck it through the top, and then it looks like I'm sort of hanging at the top of the tree. There comes
the benefit of the display
exactly.
Once again.
So, yeah.
Also, what I realized is that some of the pictures are also in black and white. When is it for dramatical reasons, or when is it that you choose to take like black and white?
The camera actually does an automatic black and white setting, but I always shot on everything shot on JPEG, but I know some people like shooting on RAW, but just for speed and convenience, I shot everything on JPEG, and I shot everything on the full resolution, the full frame, and then I'd converted them after, just a bit of post-processing into black and white, or different crops. So yeah, I did all that later on. Just for me, I want the picture to be as I saw it, and then I'll just change it later, because some pictures look better in black and white. It's simple as that, isn't it?
Well, I agree, but it's interesting that you're more of a JPEG type of guy.
Yeah,
I thought you were more like a raw.
Kind of a raw. I look like a kind of raw kind of guy.
But all right, then maybe not. So Maya, now you've heard
we always shoot JPEG just for speed, and same here. When the events were on, I would shoot the events. Then I would dart into the office, send some pictures. So Panasonic were getting sort of a live feed through, a live selection of images, and then later on that night, we'd get back at midnight or whatever, and then send the rest of them. So yeah.
Well, apparently you had to do a lot because all the pictures that we've seen here so far. So Maya, coming back to your question, yes, he does both handheld and tripod.
Yes.